Hey guys and gals, this is Alex with Exchange Commercial Real Estate, multifamily broker here in Kansas City, and coming to you with the Multifamily Minute as I do every single week here in KC. It's been a little bit since I've updated you. Wasn't a lot of activity going on in the last few weeks as far as new listings. We had several closings, but let's get right into the new stuff we see here on the open market. All right. So first up, I'm actually going to not talk about that one for just 1 second. I'm going to talk about these two Raytown properties. I know at least one of them, maybe both of these 12 units buildings are going to be completely vacant upon acquisition. So you're looking at 12 units for $820,000. Not a bad price. That's something you could look at, crunch some numbers, see if you're into that kind of rehab style of loan. I know a lot of these. They're pretty much what I call wholesale. It means that they're cleaned out, they're ready to go for a new investor to go in there and put their finishing touches on it. Raytown's a Class C submarket. It's got a lot of pros and cons. I like the area a lot. The price point might be a little high for what you're getting in this kind of Class C plus area, but maybe there's some other incentives. We can go to the seller and take a look and see what they think. Okay, so kind of an interesting opportunity. 12 units for $800,000 on paper sounds kind of interesting, and something you can dive into deeper. All right, so that's those two properties here in Raytown. Another property here is this. It says here it's a triplex. It says here it's also 2 units. I think it might be on auction. I'm not sure. Be very, very careful about this kind of advertising on LoopNet. 14% cap rate. Highly unlikely that that's going to be there. That's kind of getting your attention maybe to click on that. So make sure you truly understand the property and can wrap your mind around what's going on there. We don't typically work in deals that are below $500,000 or below $1 million, but that's something that I would kind of stay away from, at least on the outset, unless you love Midtown. All right. So then finally, we have these three different properties here, which is 19 units in Midtown. I'm very familiar with these properties. I've toured them. I know them. I've had clients offer on them. They're an interesting set here in Midtown, kind of in the Volcker neighborhood. Some of these buildings are better than others. Some of these are better occupied than others. But the owners have had them for a long time, and the location is key here. And I think it would just take a lot to get the numbers to work at the current price point. Love the buildings, love the location, love the potential. That's really kind of all I'm going to say about that. But there are three different buildings here, three different opportunities to buy in the market. A lot of them are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, maybe all of them. So it looks like here the broker's doing call for offers and group tours. So keep that in mind when you're looking at a deal like this, as far as where things are going and what you might be looking at. So that's something that I would, take a close look at, see really how it might fit in, but make sure you're crunching the numbers and understand the building conditions here of where this is at. Okay. All right. So really that's kind of everything on LoopNet already. In the last 2 weeks, it's about 3 or 4 properties here. Let's bring that back out to the last month in case you missed anything during your holiday travels. And there is this property on Independence Avenue, just outside of Pendleton Heights. If you're familiar with the baseball stadium proposed location, at least one of them, it's a neighborhood or two down from that. Very nicely remodeled. I think on the surface, it's probably a fine price point considering how nice they are and what the rents currently are. You have to know the neighborhood and you have to understand the value of where this property is located. It's got everything you need. So really it comes down to what the current rents are and how you're able to crunch the numbers. Okay. So just keep that in mind. It's in the historic Northeast almost kind of area. So keep that in mind when you're looking at it. We don't do a ton of work in that area simply because it's not our favorite place to transact. All right. So I'm going to go back out to the map here on LoopNet. And this is everything again in the last 30 days that's new. And we covered all of these here in town. Some interesting opportunities. Happy to track them down for you. All right. Now let's look over here at Zillow, which powers, our MLS and has a lot of the lower price properties included in this situation here. And this is what they show is the last 2 weeks worth of new stuff. We already covered this one. That was part of that package I was talking about in Midtown. This is 6 units for 660. This is another building. I think it's 9 units for 990. So they're looking at $110,000 per unit for their properties. A lot of this stuff can sell for 125, 130, 135 per unit. So keep that in mind if you've got to do a full rehab where your numbers need to shake out at, and the age and condition of the buildings. Okay. Next up is a couple independents, duplexes, fourplex style property here. Just based on the surface, to me, it is, these are both sold as a package. So you might be able to get four units for 600,000 on this kind of style duplex. Not my favorite part of town. Looks like they've been rehabbed nicely. Maybe they're vacant. Could be an interesting play here if you want to get aggressive in duplex style apartment buildings, especially in independence. There could be some value here, but we need to crunch the numbers together. Happy to take that information, get that over to you, because on anything here on Zillow, I can represent you as a buyer because there is a co-broker fee. All right. Couple other things, this $500,000 triplex or duplex, I've looked at it before. It's, to be frank, it's not really something that makes a lot of sense from a pricing standpoint. Or actually, this might be the fire. No, I don't think it's a fire building. Oh, this is 4 units. Okay, so 4 units for 500,000. Not a bad price. What is that? 125 a unit. Really kind of just depend on all the different features of this property. I own a fiveplex in this area. So anyway, I'm pretty dang familiar with this location, what kind of properties there. Definitely could take that down together. And then the rest of these, you guys have kind of seen before on and off the market, and they really don't quite pencil. And they've been out here for a long period of time. So now is where you go into them and you go, hey, look, I know this has been sitting out there for a while. Would the seller consider X, Y, and Z kind of price point and see what you can negotiate? Keep the negotiating going if the seller is interested. Now, if they're hard and fast on their list price, that's a lot different. But if they're actually wanting to sell, they say, hey, look, this has been sitting out here for a while. This hasn't sold. I'm not certain this will sell. Your option is to try and negotiate if you like the property and the location. And there's several of these here that have been in and on the market. This here I actually saw a couple of years ago. I believe it's a 4 or 5plex. I think it's 5plex in Gladstone area. Yeah. So Gladstone area 5plex, interesting little building here on Main Street, which sounds like it's downtown, but it's up north on a kind of off the beaten path road, but does have a Main Street address. At least some of them have been redone to some degree. Could be an interesting play there. 550,000. That would need a rent for, $1,100 per unit or so to be a great deal, in my opinion. So let's keep that in mind as we're looking at these. We're going back to the old 1% rule based on purchase price. So that's kind of where I'm just as a general ballpark. And then it also comes down to what are the owner expenses? What kind of taxes are there? What kind of insurance are they going to have to run on it? What kind of rehab work? But could be an interesting play there if you like Gladstone and if you're comfortable with the current rehab of the property. All right. So again, this is Alex Olson with the Multifamily Minute here in KC, coming to you every single week. Today is Monday, January 8th. And I look forward to getting your feedback on how all this is going. We got a lot of Class BC properties, a couple Class A located properties. A lot of these are kind of older, no home run deals, but definitely deals I think we can negotiate and get something going there. I just kind of looking forward to hearing from you. And this is Alex Olson with the Multifamily Minute. Until next time, we'll see you later.